Morning Hustle right now on the line. We got our homie, man, Jini Thorton, money expert, man. She's here to help you get organized so you can win financially. What's going on, sis?
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Same to you. All right, now it's easy to underestimate how important it is to be organized, and money is definitely something you want to have in order, man. So what are some tips to help get people gathered?
Well, I think, too, everybody needs to know what their system is. What works for you when it comes to your physical papers and documents, but what about your digital documents, too? Because you could be winning one area and looking really, really crazy in another area. So, head crack, what I think is important, commit to what your ongoing system is. Like, how are you going to keep track of things? And then as a part two, if you need to dig out, if you got like a whole lot of documents you need to go through, do that second, but commit to your system first.
Okay, Jini, now how do you know, and I have this issue a lot with papers being all over the place, how do you know how long to keep certain documents?
So this is my system. Here are my main headers. There's certain things you're going to keep forever, of course, like your birth and death certificate, Social Security cards, marriage license, divorce papers. That's forever. Certain things you want to keep while you own it, like your house, your car, maybe certain appliances. Then you have the documents you want to keep for 7 years. That's all your tax documents and stuff. And then you have the stuff that you want to keep less than a year. So those are your regular monthly bills, like your utilities. You don't need to keep that stuff long.
Right.
Got you. Now, as society moves more into a place where we like to be more minimalistic in the way we keep things together, what are some great cloud sites and apps that you could use to try to organize this paper trail that you may be piling up?
And hey, Craig, that's really important because a lot of us are just keeping stuff on our computers. And it's like, what's going to happen if something happens to that particular computer that you have?
Right.
It's like how scary that could be. You want to make sure that you're moving some stuff into the cloud that you feel comfortable with. And you can password protect your private stuff. So, of course, you can use Dropbox, Google Drive, Apple iCloud, Box, Microsoft OneDrive, but pick something because, again, you don't want that computer to break or you lose it and your whole life is going, oh, my.
So having these different filing services and things of that nature, 9 times out of 10, you're using a password. So what's some password protector software that you may recommend?
Isn't it scary to think how many passwords we have? It is crazy
so
how
many.
much stuff we have.
And I always forget them.
Oh, my God, all the time. But I personally use Dashlane, but there are other ones called Keeper or Zoho or LastPass. But I think we need to have something, especially if you're in a relationship or maybe you're taking care, you're helping your parents, you have a loved one that you help. Like, you got to have a way to keep all that stuff. You should not be keeping that in a spreadsheet. You should not be keeping that information in your phone. You're going to have to find a safer place to keep that stuff.
You say keep certain papers and documents for 7 years. How long should you hold, different W-2s and W-9s or, even receipts from those particular years just to make sure no one comes back and, says, hey, show me something?
The general rule is to keep your tax documents like your W-2s, your 1099s, and receipts for 3 years. This is the reason why I say 7, is because if you kind of got some shenanigans going on with your taxes, the IRS can actually go back 7 years. So I'd rather just have all my stuff and be straight. Obviously, you don't have to keep the physical papers. You can keep all of that, somewhere virtually, digitally. But I would recommend you keep those documents 7 years.
Okay, and now how do you decide who should have access to your important papers other than yourself?
Now, that's really, really important. So think about it. If you are out of town, maybe you're out of the country, and you're having a problem, who are you going to call? If you are sick, you're in the hospital, and you're able to make a phone call, who are you going to call? Somebody has to have access to our important documents. So who is that person that you trust? You got to pick the person, but of course you're going to have to make sure that they actually have access for real. And then the other question is, who is going to be calling you that you need to have access to? And I think that's a big breakdown. You're always just thinking about organizing your own stuff, but under stress or duress, and again, you don't have to be sick. You could be in Cancun and something happens with your flight and you need some help. Who is that person that you're going to call? So please pick that person, know who's going to be calling you, and make sure you all both have access to each other's information.
Jini Thorton, as always, you're like the mega millions of information. I feel like the listeners hit the jackpot every time you come on here and talk that money talk the way you do. If people want to pull up on you and check out what you got going on, where can they go?
They can pull up on me on social media at Jini Thornton. That's JiniThornton. Would love to hear from y'all.
Thank you so much. One time, y'all, for Jini Thornton.
Hey!
Have an amazing week, sis.
Have an amazing week. Y'all take care now.
We are the Morning Hustle.